Hey world! So last week I made a cheap stationery haul video. So if you haven't already checked that video, make sure to check the cards in the description box below to watch it. And last week I promised to reuse all the markers, and today's marker is going to be the OHUHU natural brush markers. So there's 36 markers and a water brush pen. So these are $20 off of Amazon, and that means that rounds to be about 54 cents a pen. And you also get a free swatch key and notepad included. So now we're going to talk about the body of the pen. So the body of the pen says OHUHU Aqua Natural Brush on it, and it also has a label that says the color number and the color name. So you can take it off if you want to, but it's also really helpful so you know what color you're using, especially if you're swatching. And it has a cap that fits on the other side of the pen, and it also is refillable if you twist off the end. However, it is hard to twist off, just to keep that in mind. And this is a real bristle pen, meaning that the pen is not a felt tip pen, but it has actual real bristles, so it's like a paintbrush, and it has watercolor inside of it. So now we're going to do the best part of opening and reviewing any marker. We're going to swatch these pens. So I'm swatching them on the swatch key, and so I could already tell that these markers feel a little bit dry to me. Maybe that's just me. I feel like you had to color like slowly to get the color out. I mean, maybe that's something with all water brush pens, but with these ones, it felt very kind of clear to do. However, these felt really nice, and these felt kind of consistent. I can kind of feel a consistency, and once I got the hang of them, these were actually really easy to kind of control. So the swatches so far I'm happy with. However, I'm not happy with the swatch key itself, because, okay, first of all, the numbers make no sense. They're not like, they're kind of in order, but the colors are not in order either, like in numbers. Like there'll be like the yellows and the reds, and then there'll be like greens, and then there'll be like grays, and then I don't even know what they were thinking when they made the color swatch key, because it is not in rainbow order, even remotely. So I don't know, like they like kind of grouped some colors together, but it wasn't in rainbow order, which just bugs me. But it's still cool that they included this sheet. But I feel like I would have made my own sheet that would have been in rainbow order eventually. But since I have this sheet, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste paper. But it's just an annoying thing. Okay, so now we have to water test. So for the water test, I water tested the black, magenta, coral, and lilac colors because I felt like they were a good range of values. And I tested them with the water brush immediately, and I waited for them to dry. And for both times, there was a line in between the dark colors, and the lilac did not come out very nicely. It did come out more, the colors came out more when it was wet than when it was dry, and they did still come out. The darker colors still did a good job of coming out even after they were wet, but the lighter colors did not come out as much. So that's just how they performed on the water test in this case. Okay, so now I was testing different blending techniques when it came to calligraphy. So for calligraphy, I tested the first technique, which was using a water brush to calligraphy your writing, and then using your water brushes to add color to said water, and these did an okay job at that. I mean, it was a little hard to kind of keep track of where my writing was because I was using clear water. I could tell, but not really. And so the colors did add initially, but I feel like after a while, like they kind of added a little less. And to solve that problem, I think that what happened was that the water was getting absorbed by the brush pen, so you had to like color with it a little bit. But it did work pretty well with the pink, but with the purple, I think, you know, it started to die out a little, and after I started waiting, the water started drying. So that's just how that works. So I also tested the other technique where you kind of touch the tips of the pen together that you see people doing with like tombos and whatever. I tried doing that with these, so I tried to get the purple on to the pink, and my experience was that you had to kind of keep it on the pink for a while, like really make sure that the purple got soaked into the pink to get a little bit of like blending in. As you will see in the will, it really did a good job of blending, in my opinion. I think that the colors definitely blended together and was really pretty. But when I wrote win, then it kind of just stopped working, and I think I just didn't put enough purple on it. So it definitely did well on this test, but you have to make sure that you are adding like a good amount of one of the pigments or like whatever color you're using to the other brush pen for it to work. Okay, so now we are testing the blending of these with a water brush pen. So I'm doing that thing where you put ink on a clear surface like a Ziploc bag or a plate, and you use your water brush to pick up the ink and you write with the water brush. And honestly, I think that this worked really well. I think the colors blended really nicely and that it looked really pretty, and I was able to get the effect that I wanted with this. I think out of all three methods, this was the easiest. The brush pen was pretty flexible and really easy to use when it came to calligraphy, so I definitely recommend. So now I decided to write a quote that kind of goes along with the painting that I'm going to make later on in the video. So the quote is, "Remember, both sunsets and sunrises are beautiful." So I wrote it in yellow first, and then I used an orange color to blend into it, and then I blended in a coral color to make it look like a sunset for sunset and sunrises. And then for beautiful, I used a blue color, and then I blended it into a purple color. And for the words remember, both are, I used just a black glitter gel pen. And if you're interested in a review of those, that will be coming out soon. I also got those in my stationery haul. So if you want to get a review, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when that review comes out, because I'm sure you'll love the review. But anyway, for the review of how these blend, I actually think that these did a really nice job of blending. And these also had a really nice bounce to them. I don't know if it's just me, but these were very easy to do calligraphy in. Like, I definitely could do my thick and thins relatively easy. These were a bit soft though, but I mean, they're not gonna fray or get ruined if you press too hard on them, because they have real bristles. So that's a really good thing if you're like heavy-handed like I am. But these are also, you know, harder to control in the fact that these aren't going to be super duper bouncy or anything. But I mean, honestly, I feel like these were really easy to control. So if you're like new to water brush pens for calligraphy, I think that these are definitely a really good option. However, these pens do not blend with just the pen itself. I mean, they kind of do, but it's a lot easier to use the brush pen. However, I'm not really complaining about that. I'm just saying that if you really despise the water brush pens, then I don't know, you won't like these. But these came with a water brush pen, so I really can't complain. I mean, they gave you everything you needed. They even gave you a notepad, which they really didn't have to. So I mean, I feel like this is a really good set. And these colors blended really nice. They blended beautifully. The color started to come out pretty evenly when I was doing the calligraphy. I was doing it slowly, so that's probably why. So, you know, and I honestly, like, you can tell that there are different colors, but you can't tell where the colors start or end, which means that it's a really good blend. Okay, so now we just have these close-ups of the brush pen in action. I mean, I really don't have much to say about them other than they're just close-ups, so you can really see how well these work. These are in real time. I did not speed these up or anything. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of music in the background and let you see the close-ups. Remember that there are timestamps in the description, so if you're not interested in watching these close-ups, then you can just skip to that, and I'll also just leave a timestamp in the corner. Okay, so lastly we have to paint something to see how well these work for watercolor painting. So the first thing I did is I dampened the page with my water brush to kind of make easier mixing, and I decided to paint a sunset because sunsets are relatively easy, and I was like, maybe I'll be able to make a sunset. And so that's what I did, and I used the yellow and the orange, and then I blended into pink, and then I blended into a purple, and I used the water brush to make sure that these really blended together. And then after that I waited for it to dry, and then I went over the yellow with an orange line. I made an orange line over the yellow, I made a pink line over the orange, I made a dark pink line over the pink, and I made a dark purple line over the purple, and I blended them into the background to kind of create this kind of like cloud effect so that it would look kind of interesting, and I liked how it looked. It did look a little bit like clouds. And then I waited for that to dry, and then I went over it and I used a black water brush pen to make the silhouettes of trees and some silhouettes of some birds, and that was what I did. And I honestly think that these blended pretty nicely. I mean, like, these were like, the colors started coming out more solid eventually. I mean, because in the beginning I was going really fast and the color was not coming out as strong because I was going fast, which was really cool because then I could like blend it together later on with the water brush. And then with the silhouette it came out pretty like strong because I wanted to kind of get a dark line for the silhouette, and I was able to kind of like mix colors as well. Like for the top color I kind of put a little bit of dark purple on it, and then I just mixed it in, but I didn't like color it completely with dark purple because I didn't want it to be that dark. So I think that was pretty cool. And yeah, I think that these for art are pretty nice. They definitely look kind of like watercolor, and that's pretty much it. So I really enjoyed making this review and trying out these watercolor markers. This painting was very enjoyable to kind of make. It looked really nice in my opinion. I am really happy with the end result. So I think that if you are new to the medium like I am, then these are definitely really good for painting. And you know, if you liked this video and you thought this review was helpful, don't forget to leave a like on this video so that it can reach more people. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I make new videos every Monday on stationery, calligraphy, and art. And hit the bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if you're interested in the stationery haul where these came from, that stationery haul will be linked in the cards in the description box below. And there are more videos for you to check out in the description box below, as well as the link to these markers. And I also have reviews coming on the rest of the products in the stationery haul coming out very soon. So keep an eye out for that, and hit the bell so that you don't miss any of those videos, because you want to get notified when those come out. And comment down below on your thoughts on aqua watercolor brush pens, and if you have these pens, and let me know what you think of them. Let me know if you thought this video was helpful. Let me know what you thought of these paintings, and let me know if you have any tips or tricks on this medium. It'll definitely help me out because I kind of need to learn this medium a little bit more, and your tips and tricks will definitely be helpful for me. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember to have a happy Monday. Bye bye.